Hey guys, wanted to do a quick training for you today. Well, hopefully it's quick. You never know. Once we start on these, we tend to go down little rabbit holes, don't we? But one of the most asked questions I get is around product themes in Kajabi. And in particular, what happens when you want to swap over to a different theme. Now, what am I talking about? So as you would know, I'm just going to move my head out of the way. When we're working in our courses, which we actually build inside products in Kajabi, we have the option to choose different themes. So you're in your product, you've decided it's time, like you filled out your course or your membership, whatever it is you're building, and it's time to go and look at the themes and how the actual product or your course actually looks to your members and students going through it. So as you can see, I have lots and lots of different themes attached to this because I like to change mine up. But I get that when we first start in Kajabi, Kajabi will automatically always throw in, and I'm going to show it to you now. Kajabi will typically, you will have when you build your course, typically you'll start with the Premier version. Okay, and this is, we're just going to install it so you can see, so you can all familiarize yourself so you know, oh yes, that's the Premier, I can see what she's talking about now. So this is the Premier product here. Now, and the other thing that I want to point out too is, so obviously when we're doing this, quite often we're working in courses that are live. So say you wanted to update the course, you've already launched the course, it's live, you don't want to disrupt people that are already in there. We do have the ability before we activate, so remember we have our 3 dots over here and we can activate a different theme. Instead of activating it, what I like to do is I go and work on the theme first. So I just wanted to show you currently, excuse me, this is one of my products and it needs a bit of an update. I wanted to redo, excuse me, I've made some changes to, this is a custom momentum theme. I've made some changes to the code and I wanted to go and update this theme. But every time we want to update or try out a different theme, we have to do the same things over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter whether you've chosen to use a custom theme or whether you've just picked a theme. If we click on pick a theme over here in Kajabi's pick a theme, it doesn't matter. This is going to be the same for every single theme you pick. You are going to have to redo all the customizing that you've already done for your course. And what do I mean by that? So the main things that we need to redo every time we change themes is we need to reset our colors. We need to reset any fonts that we've chosen. If we have anything we've put in a sidebar area, we need to re-upload the images. We need to redo text blocks, cards. If we have videos in a welcome area, and if we also have text blocks in a welcome area. We don't have to change anything to the course structure because the course structure is handled in the back end. You've already built all that. So none of that gets changed. You don't have to do anything at all to the lessons that you have because again, that's all been done in the back. None of that gets changed. All we do when we want to update a theme is we're changing the look of it. So the front of it. So I like to explain it like this. Imagine our course or our product is our body and we're in our underwear and we want to change outfits. Well, that's all we're doing. We're putting on a new outfit every time, but our underwear and our body stays the same underneath. So all we're doing is changing our colors. You know, we have a different jacket, we have a different pants or whatever it is that we're wearing, and we need to try on the different outfits, but everything underneath still stays the same. Okay, so that's how I like to explain it anyway. So how do we go about doing this? I'm just going to very quickly show you 2 little tricks with this. One is don't have the preview mode open of the current theme because Kajabi gets very confused if we do that. So what we want to do is we're going to go into our customize area. Okay, we can see here customize. You're going to pop in like upload, pick the theme that you want. So it's now going to be sitting below the current one. So whenever we upload a new theme, it gets dropped in and sits underneath the existing live theme. And then what we're going to do, this is my trick, is we're going to, on the customize in the active live theme, you're going to right click on it and you're going to open that up in a new tab. Okay, so if we click on the new tab, we're going to be able to go in here and we can see this is the customize area for this is the momentum theme. Okay, we're not touching it right now. We're going back out. So now we have our Premier product. We want to go and see, let's just try on what the Premier product is going to look like. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to right click and this time I'm going to open it in another new tab. Actually, what we want to do is the original one that we have. I actually want to bring that out and put it in a new window. And this is I like to do it this way so that we can use them. We have them side by side so we can clearly see what we're doing. Okay, so I'm just going to move that over. So this is now the customize area for the Premier theme. And this is the customized area for the momentum theme. Now, we can see when we've landed in our Premier theme, yeah, we've lost all our beautiful customization. We have different fonts, we have different colors. So we have to go about setting these and getting them in place. So this is my trick on how I do it. And I know everyone gets a little bit hung up on this because we're frightened that if we go and make changes, it's going to take ages. It doesn't. Probably about 20-25 minutes tops every time you want to change outfits, okay? So you're going to click on settings in the current live theme that you have. And what you're going to do is you're simply going to work your way through every single setting. So let's go into the settings so we can see that we have, okay, so I already have my favicon in here because it's come across from my settings in Kajabi. But I want to show you a trick. If you didn't have the favicon image in there, here's what you're going to do. You're going to right click on that image that you have and you're going to go save image as. And then what I want you to do, so I've gone and created a dummy folder that sits on my desktop, okay? And it's just called product theme swap. And this is what I do every single time I want to swap out a theme. I am going to just drop in that favicon into my folder, okay? So then, just say we didn't have a favicon in here and I wanted to upload a different one or I needed to put one in, I'm going to go upload a new file. And then what I'm going to do is I can open up my folder over here that I have. And then there's my favicon and I just drop it and drag it in. So rather than having to go and spend all this time going, wait, I can't remember where I kept that image. You know, I built the original product ages ago and now I can't remember where I've put those images, or it's not organized enough in the back of your computer for you to easily go and find images. This is the quickest way that I've found to be able to have everything up and live and just literally take you 20 minutes to work through it and go and make all the changes, okay? So let's just say we now have done our favicon. So let's move on to the next setting. So the next setting we have is the topography area. So we're going to back out, go into the topography. One's in Premier, one's in Momentum. So all I do is I go and look for the font. I'm going to change the font and then I've got the heading family. I need to set that to Poppins. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I have the color of the text. If I click on it over here, I can see that I've already marked it in my color palette. So it's not like I have to go and grab hex codes or anything. So I just go and plop that in and then I click save. So now we've done our topography settings, moving down to the color scheme. So obviously we have a lot more color scheme or choices in the Momentum theme than we do in the Premier theme, but that's okay. We just need to work out what we want and where it's going to go. So the primary color, if you haven't got it set up in your portfolio, in your little color palette already, you can always just go and grab the hex code. But it works really well, like I said, if you have them side by side. It's simply just moving through each of them, popping in, copying and pasting. This is what we're doing, and you get really fast at it over time. So then we've got a primary, we have accent. So they've got an offset, not sure what the offset is. Accent, they've got dark and darker. So let's just click save for argument's sake. This is, look, obviously we use different colors for different things in the different themes, and that's something that you might have to get your head around going, well, okay, this one has more options, this one has less, but that's okay. So at least you've got your main color set. General settings, okay, great. What have we got in our general settings? This one has message colors. We didn't have that in the other one. Let's go into our general appearance. So this one lets us have a background color for the whole site. So we might decide that we want all of our pages to be white. Did we want to have a background image? Well, we haven't used one in that theme. We don't want one for this. And then we're just going to click save. So there wasn't really too much else, excuse me, to customize in terms of that. And we don't have any of the options in the general settings that are in our momentum theme that are in our Premiere theme. So we can't do any more as far as that goes. So let's just pop back out. So those are our main settings in here. Now we have our sections, excuse me. So the sections over here, the momentum doesn't have a header, whereas the Premiere theme does. So you go in and decide, do you want to have the header on? Do you want to turn it off? Up to you how you want this product to look. You will need to work your way through if you want to set up menus. If you had a menu over here, it's the same. Like if you're working between two different themes, it's just copying what you've already done in one and moving it over to the other. So this one has a search bar. Basically, it says you want to include search. Yep, that's fine. Here's our hero banner over here. Okay, so in this theme, we actually have a welcome image as well. So we're going to do the same thing. Rather than having to go and spend all the time looking for our hero image, we're just going to click Save Image As, and we're going to pop that image into our temporary folder that we have set up on our desktop. And then we're going to pop over here into our background image, and we're going to say, great, upload. And we're just going to literally grab this, pop it in. Excuse me, the size is probably going to be different because this is much narrower. We'll see how it goes. Now, this one also has an overlay, whereas the other one doesn't have an overlay. So I don't have any text or anything written on it because I actually have my logo in it. So do I want to have those details sitting there? No, I don't. So I'm actually going to hide them. I don't want it. I want it to have a look the same. So you can see we're working through it. And then the spacing, we might just set that to large. Okay. And then the overlay, I want to change that down to, so it's not. Okay. And then we click save. So this is how I do. This is how I move through each of the themes. I just wanted to explain this to everyone. It's really easy if you create yourself a little dummy folder, pop it on your desktop, and then just right click and save. And then you can delete this folder or delete everything in it after you've done it. Or now, because you've neatly saved everything that you had in one product, you might just choose to actually move that entire folder, recall it the name of the product or the course, and pop that into your Dropbox or your Google Drive or wherever you're storing it so that you've got it for next time if you want to make any changes, and then you just update it. So that was that. What else did we have in here? Oh, so the main part that I wanted to show you, I think, between the different themes. So in the Premiere theme, see how we've got this show welcome body. So we actually have the ability to put in some code, an image, a text block, etc. So let's just say we put in a text block, which is there. And because over in this theme we actually have a text box, which is our welcome message. So how do we go about doing this nice and quick without having to go and retype it all? You're going to click in the source code. You're going to copy the entire source code that you have in there. Now, here's my other trick for you. What I do is I have open, I go and create a Google Doc. And then typically what I'll do is I'll go and fill in these details. I've been a bit naughty, but so let's just do this. We go momentum to Premiere. Okay, just so we know what we're doing. And here's my welcome area text. And I just simply paste it with all of the code and everything in there so that this way I've got a record and I've got this document always kept here. So it's really easy for me then to go, oh wait, that's right, that was my welcome message. And then I can just go and literally copy it, highlight it, copy it, and pop it into the updated theme that we're working on. So over here, I go into our text blocks. I'm going to go into source code. I'm going to select it. I'm going to paste in what I had over in the other one. It's going to pop it in, but now I no longer want this. I don't want this block here anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. So you can see that's all we do. We work through each of the different components to get it to look as close as we possibly can. So what else do we have on here? So we actually have a video on here. Okay, we've got an image. So once again, we're going to right click the image. We're going to save the image and we're going to pop it over into our temporary folder on our desktop. Okay, so now we have that nice and neatly saved. can we put, so if we're in our welcome body area, we do have a spot for a video in here. We just don't have anything uploaded. So let's upload the image that we've just popped in. Okay, so we get our folder up. Here's our welcome thumbnail. So again, we just drag it on. And then for the video, you will probably need to have that stored somewhere. And then of course we have the video player. Well, let's just go and set the color for that as well. We'll click save. The video, if you've had that video saved or you've uploaded it recently, sometimes you can get lucky enough to go, oh, select a recent file and I'm going to find it in my recent files. It's probably not going to be there because I've been doing some work and you can see that I've got a whole lot of other videos in here. So we're probably not going to be able to find that original one, but for the sake of what we're doing, we could just pop anything in here for now. It doesn't really matter. It's just so that we can see that it's done. But in your case, go and find where you actually did have your original video, or if, like I said, if you're lucky enough to have it stored in the recent, then it should show up as well. So we'll just make sure that that is actually going to display. So there's our video. Okay. So what else do we have on our home page that we might want to have? So we also have a sidebar option. So we can see that we have an image and this is a link to go out because it's an upgrade that we have for people. So how do we get that in our sidebar in the Premier theme? So we're going to go into our product sidebar and we can see that we've got show it, we've got our course progress, and we have an instructor. I don't want to use the instructor, so I'm going to hide it. But I do want to use some kind of an image so that I can have exactly the same setup that I have over in my other theme. So same deal again. All I'm going to do is right click on the image. I'm going to save it as. I'm going to drop this. Let's just call it a name, upgrade thumbnail. Pop it into my temp folder so now it belongs. I can see that I've got it going to a checkout page and I want it to open a new window. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to upload a file. We're going to go and find where we've just popped it, which is there. Okay, and then the image action is we want it to go to a checkout page, and we're going to go find our checkout page. So it is our how to build. Oh, it would be nice if it was going to show how to build a membership site. Clearly we can't find that. We're going to have to pop anything else in here. Interesting. Maybe I've popped it in somewhere else. So anyway, let's just grab anything for now. We're just going to pop this in just so we can see what it looks like, just to make sure. But hopefully any action that you've already got in there is going to show. And then obviously just tick if you want it to open up in a new window. Okay, so we can now see that we have our image matching. So now we have a text block as well. So same thing again. So go into your source code. Grab the source code. This is where I go back over to my Google Doc and see here I've got this welcome sidebar text and I'm going to drop the text in there. So I've always got the code and all the styling and everything that I've already done rather than having to go and retype it. And let's just call it, so it's customized momentum theme. So remember to give your product a name. And that way you can also like just clone this document over and over again. So every time you do it, and that way you've always got everything in one spot. And then I'm going to go, okay, we're going to go back over here. We want to go back to our sidebar. And now we need to add in, well, we don't actually have a text box. So we'll just go custom block. We don't want to have an image. We'll go into the content. We're going to paste over the top of what we have. And what we could even do is, so it's got the upgrade here. So let's just get rid of the header because we don't want that. We had ours all set up in here with a link. So the link, if I pop in here, the link is still all in there, which is cool. So everything has come across that we want it to. And this one actually has a call to action. So we could even remove that and actually have our yes, please upgrade me. as our call to action, and then actually put the URL that we have in here. So copy link address. Okay, so we could do something like that, and then we can actually get rid of our text. So it doesn't, none of this has to be hard. It's just having both of them open on the page together, and it's just working your way through. The only part that you need to change in nearly all of these themes is anything that you see in terms of the customizing. So don't ever worry about what you see in the back to do with your course and your lessons. None of that changes. It's just the front end. It's the front page that people see, and any other settings that actually relate to the setup of the course itself. So Premier theme also has the option to show the syllabus on the front page with the categories. So you can either turn it off or turn it on. But you can see by turning it off, you know, it's now more closely looking like our momentum theme that we have over here. But yeah, so then you would just work your way through. So I've got another text block here. I've got another image that's going to link out to somewhere else. So you just need to work your way down your sidebar, adding all the different components and setting up each of the theme with the options that you have in this theme. So this one also has a footer, whereas the momentum theme doesn't. So you'll need to go and redo your footer every time too. And then once you've done the main welcome page, the next thing that you're going to want to go through is probably the post area, because I think that's the one that has the most amount of changes in each different theme. So in the Premier theme, we tend to go here first because you know, we have our breadcrumbs at the top. In the momentum theme, obviously we don't have as many options. We literally just have action buttons where you can go and reword the action buttons, and I think you have a little bit of control over the completion message, like whether it's being auto advanced, and again just the terminology that is used for it. Whereas clearly in the Premier theme we have a lot of different options. We can set how we want our video to appear. You know, do we want to not have the video? Do we want to have one there? It's just going to be simple. Is it going to be inline? You have more options around the colors to set things. You have your language for what the lessons are going to be called, post-player pagination, and the list goes on. So it's just working through each theme and making or putting in the different settings that you want to control that theme. There's nothing hard about this. Like I said, it's just going to take you that extra 20 minutes to come in and do it. So for me right now, I already have a momentum theme in play. I don't want to use the Premier theme. I want to update the custom momentum theme that I have at the moment. So I'm going to do that. So in order for me to do that, I need to upload a theme instead of picking a theme. So again, I've already got my theme ready and waiting to do. Excuse me. But essentially, if you're just going from theme to theme and all you're doing is updating the theme because Kajabi's made an upgrade to it, or you know, whether you purchase a custom theme and there's been an upgrade made to it, this is literally, we're doing exactly the same thing. So I'm going to customize, and of course, you know, this is now going to have whatever came in the custom theme. As we can see, it's different to what I have in mind. So we would literally just go through exactly the same thing that we did previously. It's a matter of going into the settings, you know, checking the favicon. The favicon is the same. We know that. Our typography is going to be, we need to change those. Heading font. Okay, the text is set the same. Color scheme we need to change. So let's go back out to our color scheme. So the primary is that one. Yep. The accent is a hex code. So this is literally all we do. So I can see that the primary I used was that one originally. This one has a different accent. So we're just going to pop in that one. We have a sidebar background. This one has an extra color now. We actually get to change the dashboard background color as well. So this one we can see it's a slightly off gray, whereas this one is set to white. So if I wanted to change that here, like just to give it like a slight little bit of a different color tone to the blocks that I have on there, I can certainly do that. And then if I wanted to change the product title, and then also I have now the lines that go between, I now also, because this, like I said, this is an updated theme, so I have a few more options. So I can do things like this, where I can change the setting of the border that sits between, or the decorative line that sits underneath them. So that sometimes happens as well. You might have some more options and things that you didn't have previously, and that's another reason why you might be upgrading a theme. So everything else pretty much stays the same. It's now just working through as we did before the settings on our homepage. So I don't need to change my image because that stays the same. I can see even in my dashboard, we can see here that I've got I've changed the names and I've put little icons in there. So I might want to go and do that. So I might not want to have categories in there. I'm going to remove categories altogether. And then I'm going to put theme update notes instead, where it says announcements, and then I'd hit save. So I just wanted to explain to you, it's not hard to do this. It's literally, like I said, an extra 20 to 25 minutes to sit down, but this is the quickest way that I've found to do it. So I do this for my clients. I do it for my own. So long as you have, just have your little temporary product that sits out, so your folder that sits on your desktop to make it easy to get to. And don't worry if you can't find an image. Sometimes it's quicker just to pop in and do a right click on an image that you already have and save it into a new folder. You can always delete it. If you know that you have that image saved somewhere else and it's just going to take you ages to go and find it, this is how you do it, guys. So I just wanted to share this video with you because, as I said, it's one of the most commonly asked questions I get around updating themes and templates. Okay, so mainly this is for product themes. I just wanted to show you templates. Page templates are actually very different, but product themes, this is how we do it. We just open the new one, and then also when you're ready, I just wanted to show you as well, when you're ready, make sure you hit save on everything as you're working through them. But after you've updated everything and you're ready to pop it, like to put the new one in, I'll just refresh that. It's simply then, so that's the I one, which is the latest version. And I can see that I have a different version up here. So this is the other way that you also make sure that you're working in the latest current version. When I'm satisfied that I've gone and made all those changes without interrupting any of my students that are already in there, I then just click on activate and I'm done. So that is how you update your themes. Okay. And like I said, depending on what theme you've chosen, like when we're in this pick a theme, some of them are very different. So we've got the Warren, the Taylor, the Lagunita. They're all very different, but it's the same process. Change your colors, change your fonts. If you have a welcome page on any of these other themes, it's just redoing what you have on the welcome page. It's if you have options around changing how your video looks, it's going in and resetting those or changing them to something new. But that's it. It's really, it's simple. It's putting on a new outfit, and don't be frightened to keep changing on outfits. You might find that by doing that, you actually find a better theme that is going to be easier for your students and members to work through than the theme that you've just been allotted when you set up the course to begin with. Okay. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. Have fun trying on your outfits.